The morning sun painted the beach in hues of apricot and rose. Gentle waves, the color of pale jade, lapped at the golden sand. Maya, a young woman with windswept auburn hair tied loosely with a sea-green ribbon, walked along the shoreline, her bare feet sinking slightly with each step. She carried a woven basket, her eyes scanning for interesting shells and sea glass. The air hummed with the cries of gulls and the distant rhythmic whoosh of the ocean. A small, brightly colored toy boat bobbed precariously close to the crashing waves near a rocky outcrop. Maya frowned, noticing no one was around. As she drew closer, she heard a faint whimper. Peeking behind a large barnacle-covered rock, she saw a tiny girl, no older than 4, huddled on the sand, her face streaked with tears. A wave had likely washed away her parents, or she had simply wandered too far. Maya gently approached the little girl, her voice soft and reassuring. "Hello there, little one. Are you all right?" The girl, with wide, tearful eyes the color of the summer sky, clutched a small, iridescent seashell tightly in her hand. She seemed lost and scared, but didn't cry out. Maya sat beside her on the cool sand, offering a warm smile. Maya gently took the little girl's hand. "Let's see if we can find your family, okay?" The girl nodded silently, her grip tightening on Maya's fingers. Together they walked along the beach, Maya keeping a watchful eye on the girl and calling out softly, hoping to hear a response. Seabirds circled overhead, their cries echoing in the salty air. In the distance, near a cluster of colorful beach umbrellas and fluttering flags, Maya spotted a frantic couple searching. Their expressions were filled with worry. The little girl, seeing them, suddenly pulled her hand free from Maya's and cried out, "Mama! Papa!" The parents rushed towards their daughter, scooping her up in a tight embrace, tears of relief streaming down their faces. They turned to Maya, their eyes filled with gratitude, bowing their heads in thanks. The little girl, now safe in her mother's arms, looked back at Maya and waved, her small face beaming. As the happy family walked away, hand in hand, Maya smiled to herself. She bent down and picked up a beautiful, spiraled seashell that had been partially buried in the sand. Holding it to her ear, she could almost hear the whispering of the ocean and the echoes of the little girl's joyful laughter. The little girl hiccuped, pointing a trembling finger towards the turbulent water. "Boat. Gone," she whispered, her voice thick with unshed tears. Maya followed her gaze and saw the small toy boat being tossed about by the waves, drifting further out to sea. The sight seemed to amplify the girl's distress. To distract the little girl, Maya reached into her woven basket and pulled out a smooth, sea-worn piece of driftwood shaped like a tiny bird. She offered it to the girl. "Look what the sea brought us," Maya said gently. The girl's eyes widened slightly, a flicker of curiosity replacing the fear. As they walked, the little girl, now slightly more at ease, pointed at a group of sandpipers scurrying along the water's edge. "Look, they're dancing!" She giggled softly, her earlier fear momentarily forgotten. Maya smiled, happy to see a spark of joy return to the child's eyes. Time stretched on, and the sun began to climb higher in the sky. Maya sat with the little girl under the shade of a large beached fishing boat, sharing some of the fruit and bread she had in her basket. The girl, though still quiet, seemed to trust Maya, occasionally pointing at passing seagulls or tracing patterns in the sand with her finger. A playful gust of wind swept across the beach, lifting strands of Maya's hair and carrying with it the salty scent of the sea. She closed her eyes for a moment, savoring the feeling of the ocean breeze on her face, a sense of quiet satisfaction washing over her. The cries of the gulls seemed to sound a little more cheerful now. The air feels calm and serene, a reminder of the small act of kindness that unfolded earlier in the day.